Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. In the case of the individual who purchased the $2,000 watch, cognitive dissonance theory postulates that A. They might ignore positive information regarding other models and secure a lot of information regarding the $200 platinum model. B. They might sell the $2,000 watch immediately following the purchase. C. They might focus heavily on negative information regarding rival models. D. A and C. The answer is D, A, and C. In the case of the individual who purchased the $2,000 watch, cognitive dissonance theory postulates that they might ignore positive information regarding other models and secure a lot of information regarding the $2,000 platinum model, and they may focus heavily on negative information regarding rival models. In regards to this question, counselors need to keep in mind the consistency of a desirable personality trait that is associated in most cultures. The only difference is the $2,000 watch is the desirable positive trait that some cultures see, and the cognitive dissonance theory will predict the person's behavior that they are looking for. What does Freud identify as the two primary elements that contribute to the development of the personality? Freud has identified two primary elements that do contribute to the development of personality, which are the natural growth and maturation processes, which is that hormonal, biological, and time-dependent process, and the learning and experiential process, which is the coping and avoiding pain in regards to managing frustration, resolving conflicts, and reducing anxiety. So when Freud is looking for the two primary elements that contribute to development, think of the natural growth and maturation process and the learning and experiential process. In the United States, middle and upper class citizens seem to want a counselor who A. will give them a good talking to, B. gives a specific and steady stream of advice, C. helps them work it out on their own, D. is highly authoritative and autocratic. The answer is C. In the United States, middle and upper class citizens seem to want a counselor who helps them work it out on their own. I have yet to run into this issue, and in my experience, when I have gone to therapy for the first 2 times with 2 different counselors, I needed more help than what the counselors needed, and I was in that middle to upper class area. But now someone who is in the middle to lower class area, the 3rd time I found my counselor, they were able to help me out more. But in this specific question, the answer is with the middle and upper class citizens. They want a counselor who helps them work it out on their own. I am not the best example for this. What is the person in environment theory? The person in the environment theory considers the influence that the client has on their environment and the influence that multiple environments have on the client. And this can include economic, family, social, political, religious, culture, ethnic, work, and life events, so on and so forth. It is usually an interactive model that is central to many professional helping relationships, and can recognize the impact of oppression and discrimination that it has for the client. The in-person environment theory supports the goals of providing personal care for the client and furthering cause of social justice. So you would be working with the client to identify influences that they have to other people and their environment, as well as having the client identify multiple environments that influence them. And then in the therapy process, the client and the counselor are working in many ways to find the right treatment plan to help them if they are feeling oppressed and discriminated against. In a traditional culture, which places a high premium on authority figures? A. Passivity on the part of the counselor would be viewed in a negative manner. B. A client would be disappointed if they did not receive advice. C. Assigning homework and teaching on the part of the counselor would be appropriate. D. All of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. In a traditional culture which places a high premium on authority figures, passivity on the part of the counselor would be viewed in a negative manner. A client would be disappointed if they did not receive advice, and assigning homework and teaching on the part of the counselor would be considered appropriate. Counselors will need to take all of this in and learn how to adjust their wording to make sure that they are giving information through homework and teaching, rephrasing words and phrases that the client said and give it back to them so that they would understand it may be their words that are giving them the advice, and not being passive and having the passive personality trait would be viewed in a negative manner for many individuals on part of the counselor. And that is all 5 questions. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.